Have you ever wondered how your favorite apps and devices seem to know exactly what you want? From recommending the next video to predicting what you'll type next, it's easy to forget how much technology shapes our everyday lives. At the heart of this is something called machine learning. While it sounds technical, it's actually a fascinating concept that's easier to understand than you might think. I'll be explaining how machine learning works in this video. What exactly is machine learning? At its core, machine learning, or ML, is a subset of artificial intelligence, which means it's one part of the larger field of AI. If AI is the big idea of machines behaving intelligently, then machine learning is the specific way machines improve themselves over time by learning from data. Think of it like teaching a dog new tricks, not by telling it exactly what to do step by step, but by letting it learn through practice and experience. But in this case, the dog is a computer, and the tricks are tasks like recognizing faces in a photo, sorting your emails, or even helping doctors detect diseases. How does machine learning work? For a machine to learn, it first needs data. And not just any data, it needs lots and lots of examples. Let's say you want to teach a computer to tell the difference between pictures of apples and oranges. You'd start by feeding it thousands of images, some labeled apple and others labeled orange. This collection of labeled examples is called the training data. It's like giving the machine a cheat sheet to help it figure out what an apple looks like and what an orange looks like. But how does the computer learn from these examples? Here's where the magic, or rather the math, happens. The computer uses algorithms, which are like recipes or step-by-step instructions. These algorithms look at the data and start to notice patterns. For example, it might realize that apples are usually round and red, while oranges are round and orange. It turns these observations into rules or a model that it can use to classify new images it hasn't seen before. Once the model is trained, it's tested on new, unlabeled data. This is the moment of truth. Can the computer correctly identify an image as an apple or an orange? If it gets it wrong, no worries. The model goes back to the training phase, adjusts its rules, and tries again. Over time, this loop of learning and correcting makes the model more accurate. Different types of machine learning. Now, machine learning isn't one size fits all. Depending on the task, there are different approaches to training machines. Let's explore the three main types: supervised learning, unsupervised learning, and reinforcement learning. Supervised learning is like having a teacher guide the process. Remember our apple and orange example? That's supervised learning because the training data comes with labels, like a teacher pointing out examples and explaining them. This method is widely used for tasks like predicting house prices based on past sales or even diagnosing diseases from medical scans. Unsupervised learning, on the other hand, is a bit more adventurous. Here, the data doesn't come with labels. It's like giving a student a jigsaw puzzle but not showing them the picture on the box. The machine's job is to find patterns or groups on its own. For example, businesses use unsupervised learning to segment customers into groups based on purchasing habits. This way, they can create targeted marketing campaigns without needing explicit labels like big spender or casual buyer. Reinforcement learning is yet another approach, and it works by trial and error. Think of training a dog to sit by giving it treats when it gets it right. In machine learning, the treat is a reward signal, and the machine learns by maximizing rewards over time. Reinforcement learning powers technologies like self-driving cars, where the system learns to make better driving decisions by practicing and receiving feedback. Machine learning in everyday life. Now that we've covered the basics, let's dive into a couple of real-world examples where machine learning is making a huge impact. Take language translation. When you use tools like Google Translate, it's not just swapping words from one language to another. It's analyzing massive amounts of data to figure out how words and phrases relate to each other across different languages. For example, it might look at millions of documents that have been translated by humans, like books, news articles, and legal texts, and learn the patterns that match words, grammar, and sentence structures. The system doesn't understand language the way humans do, but it uses probabilities to guess the most likely translation for each phrase based on its training data. It's even capable of considering context. If you type bank, it knows whether you mean a riverbank or a financial institution based on the surrounding words. Another everyday application of machine learning is in fraud detection. Have you ever received a notification from your bank about suspicious activity on your account? That's machine learning in action. Banks train models on datasets containing millions of transactions, marking which ones were fraudulent and which were legitimate. The algorithm learns to identify patterns in fraudulent transactions, like unusual locations or times of purchases, and flags anything that doesn't fit the usual behavior for a particular account. It's not perfect, but it's incredibly effective at catching issues quickly. Machine learning myths. Despite how impressive machine learning is, there are plenty of misconceptions about it. One of the most common is that machines are thinking or understanding things like humans. In reality, ML models don't understand the way we do. They analyze patterns and use math to make predictions, but they don't have feelings, opinions, or consciousness. Another myth is that machine learning is perfect. In truth, ML models can make mistakes, especially if they're trained on biased or incomplete data. For example, facial recognition software has faced criticism for being less accurate when identifying people with darker skin tones. This happens because many of these systems were trained on datasets with fewer examples of people from diverse backgrounds. It's a reminder that while machines can learn, they're only as good as the data we give them. There's also the challenge of overfitting. This happens when a model becomes too specialized in its training data, like a student who memorizes answers for a test but doesn't actually understand the material. When faced with new situations, an overfitted model struggles because it hasn't learned the underlying concepts. It's just repeating what it saw before. What's next for machine learning? One exciting area is personalization. As ML models become more advanced, they're getting better at tailoring experiences to individuals. For example, think about a fitness app that not only tracks your workouts, but also adjusts its recommendations based on your energy levels, sleep quality, and even local weather. We're already seeing this level of personalization, and it's only going to get better, making technology feel even more seamless and intuitive. Another promising direction is sustainability. Machine learning is being used to tackle environmental challenges, from predicting deforestation to optimizing renewable energy sources. For example, some companies use ML to analyze satellite images and identify areas at risk of illegal logging, helping governments take action before it's too late. But as ML grows more powerful, it also raises important ethical questions. How do we make sure that these technologies respect privacy? What happens if an ML model is used to spread misinformation or manipulate opinions? These are challenges we'll need to address as machine learning continues to grow. In the end, machine learning is a tool, a powerful one, but still a tool. Its potential to transform industries, improve lives, and solve complex problems is enormous, but it's not a replacement for human judgment. By understanding how ML works and its limitations, we can use it wisely and make the most of its capabilities. And next time you get a recommendation from your favorite app, or your phone predicts your next word perfectly, take a moment to appreciate the incredible technology behind it. Machine learning isn't magic. It's math, data, and a lot of trial and error. But in its own way, that's what makes it so remarkable. It shows the crazy things we can achieve when we teach machines to learn. What do you think about machine learning? Does it excite you or terrify you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you found this helpful or interesting, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like this.